Hi, this is Omar at Top 5 Ebikes, and thank you for watching this review. This is a full review of the KBO Breeze Commuter Ebike. In this review, we'll go over the specs of this e-bike, a road test, and final thoughts of the e-bike. If after watching this video you like our content, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in the KBO Breeze, we recommend you watch our other video on this e-bike, which details the unboxing and assembly of this bike. If you go to the description of this video, we'll provide a link for that video. This video is not sponsored by KBO, but there are affiliate links in the description of the video. If you end up purchasing a KBO Breeze, you can support Top 5 e-bikes by using our affiliate link. Thanks. Let's review some of the specs of this e-bike. This e-bike costs $1,399, and that includes tax and shipping. So you'll actually pay under $1,400 total for this bike and have it delivered at your home. It comes with Shimano shifters, and you see that it has a twist grip throttle on the right hand side, and it actually has really nice grips, which I liked. It comes with an integrated front light, and you see the fender there. It also comes with 180 millimeter rotors, which actually translate into quite a bit of stopping power, which I personally liked. The derailleurs are Shimano Altus, which are pretty common in bikes of this price range. And here you see the rear hub motor, which is a 500 watt sustained 900 watt peak motor. You also notice here there's an integrated rack, which is pretty nice, and it actually seems pretty solid. I put my child seat on this particular rack and it seemed to do fine. You also notice that there's a plush seat, and finally what you'll see is an integrated 48 volt battery, which is rated for 16 amp hours, which means this e-bike has more battery life than most bikes in this price range. I also wanted to mention that KBO will actually throw a few of these items in as gifts, including a tool set, a drink holder, a rear rack, and the fender, which were shown there in the video. Spec-wise, this e-bike has one of the biggest, if not the biggest battery you'll find in this price range, and the components are all comparable, so I don't think you'll find a better value. Plus, it's a beautiful e-bike. Also note that KBO's customer service includes phone support, which is not the norm for e-bikes under $1,500. Their verdict is still out on their support as a whole, but in my personal experience, their support team was very responsive. Now let's get into the fun stuff, which are the test rides. At the time of this review, I've ridden this e-bike for over 50 miles. The top speed I registered with pedal assist was actually 32 miles per hour, but in general, I was going around 26 to 27 miles per hour with pedal assist. I will note there's a lag and almost what feels like a push from the motor if your speed is too slow for the pedal assist level. After a few miles, I was able to gauge the pedal assist better and it was fine, but just keep that in mind. One interesting note is the throttle only speed was actually around 22 miles per hour, so it's faster than other bikes in this price range. Going uphill or riding with additional weight, like I did when riding with my daughter, will obviously slow down the speed, but I was still able to get around 15 miles per hour going uphill. In comparison to the Ride 1 Up 500, the Breeze actually had more power going up hills. Now let's talk about the battery. I went on a 26 or 27 mile ride and had about 50% of the battery left. KBO states that the battery should give you about 55 miles, but I would be shocked if I would get more than 50 miles out of a full charge. Regardless, 45 to 55 miles is better than any bike on the market today in this price range. This is really one of the main reasons you should buy this e-bike. One of the things that I didn't like about this bike was the right side throttle, and maybe that's because I'm left-handed, but it just seemed like a very unnatural thing for me to do was to actually pull the throttle on the right-hand side. And I figured out that I prefer left thumb throttles better than this type of throttle that this bike has. But that's probably more of a personal thing. So now under our final thoughts. What I liked about the bike, I'll start off with the price. I think component-wise, this bike is pretty similar to other bikes that are around this $1,500 mark. But what is surprising is the battery. I don't think you're going to find a bike that has this size battery for the same price. So I think the battery is really where you see the value in this particular bike. Another thing I really liked was the color. When I was riding this bike around, a ton of people stopped me and would ask me, "What type of bike is this?" And then once I got a closer look, they definitely liked the color. So the color itself is super nice. One of the other items that I liked were the gifts. So I think that especially the integrated rack was really nice, and it's very functional. So I was able to add my daughter's Jet Maxi seat on there, and I was able to ride around with her. So that was also nice to have the rack already installed and not having to deal with adding a rack, which could take 30 minutes to 60 minutes, and having to find one that's actually rated for what you need to use. So I really appreciated that. It was also easy to ride without the motor, which it's not probably something you think about with an e-bike, but I mean, if you ran out of charge, that's something that you would have to think about. But this particular bike was actually really easy to ride without the motor. I like to ride bikes without the motor just to see how heavy they are, and normally they're pretty heavy, but this particular bike was easy. So I don't know if it was a derailleur, the shifters, or what it was, but the bike actually felt a little bit lighter than other e-bikes. So, and then lastly, the tires. I mean, for not being fat tires, it's actually a pretty comfortable ride. It's almost like cruiser-like with this particular bike. It felt pretty good to ride the bike because of the tires. And so it felt really smooth. So now on to what I didn't like. I really didn't like that front fender. So the front fender this is one of the gifts. It's really nice. They did a good job with the paint job. What I didn't like about it is that the fender itself is so close to the tire that you have to do a lot of finagling and making sure that it's not rubbing, because you might be riding and it's rubbing, and then you'll have to move, and it's just kind of an annoying noise. So that's definitely something that I didn't enjoy. I didn't like it. I also didn't like, or I guess another item I didn't like was the right throttle. I figured out that I'd like a left thumb throttle better, even though that can get tiring and your thumb can get tired. I mostly ride with pedal assist, so it's not that big of a deal. But I realized that I didn't like that right throttle because I felt like at times I could turn it when I wasn't intending to turn it. So that's one of those other items that I didn't like. The last item I didn't like was the delayed assist. So I felt like at times the motor was pushing me. So if I was pedaling too slow for the particular pedal assist level, I felt like it was almost pushing me to get to that next level. So instead of it being like a delayed or a smoother transition, I almost felt like it was pushing me. I did figure it out and end up going faster when I was switching to certain pedal assist levels, but I did want to note that, or at least that was my experience. I'm not sure if that's everyone else's experience with this, but yeah, those are the things I didn't like about the bike. I would say that overall this is a good bike, especially for people that are either commuting or that like cruising around or kind of just going around town with your e-bike. So especially if you're going to be on paved roads. So I think it might even be a good bike for people that need to carry something. So if you wanted to ride around with your child, this could be a good bike. So I challenge you to find an e-bike that's better looking than this e-bike. I haven't found one, at least for my taste. So I really like the color, and that was what was first attracted me to the bike. So it was the color, and then also the specs, so the battery size. So anyways, I think for this price point, it's a pretty good option, and yeah, and I think that's our review. So thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any questions or comments. If you enjoyed this review, please subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment, visit us at top5ebikes.com or some of our social media accounts. Thank you.